Okay, we're going to look at some data that may not be linear. For this purpose, we'll be looking at things that may be quadratic or exponential. There are definitely other shapes that data can take, but those are the two that we're going to concentrate on. I've entered this data in here, and when I look at the scatter plot of it, I can definitely see that it is not linear. Now, I need you to understand that this is important. This falls on you because you can ask the calculator to do a linear regression and it'll do it. But if it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't look like a line, you're not going to do a linear regression. In this case, it kind of looks like an upside down U, so I'm going to do a quadratic regression. I'm going to go to Stat, Calculate, and instead of choosing 4 linear regression, I'm going to choose 5 quadratic regression. Choice 5, and when I enter that in, I'm going to get my information. Here's my equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. Here are my a, b, and c values. Now I've gone ahead and written that down on my paper, so when I go to y equals, I can type that in. So negative 0.15 or negative 15.95 x. This x above the apps key is the variable key, and I'm going to square it, plus 24.93 x plus 3.02. Now when I hit graph, I'm going to see that, type something in wrong. Oh, this is a good one. I use the minus key instead of the negative key. So if you ever get that error, it'll tell you, it said error syntax. That meant I typed something in wrong. So now we're going to hit graph, and we're going to see a really nice quadratic curve going through those points that we graphed. So that is quadratic regression. If your graph looked perhaps exponential, if you scroll down, you will also find exponential regression. Let's look at this also in the Google Sheets. Again, to get the regression, you're going to have to do the scatter plot first. And I don't need to be fancy with my titles right now, so I'm going to just turn this into a scatter plot. And I do want to make sure that it's the right thing, so I've got to quick click that use column A as labels. And I've got my scatter plot here. Again, not linear. If I go to series and I choose the trend line, it pops up linear, and it doesn't make sense. The line does not look like what this pattern shows. You click on linear, you can choose exponential, you can choose polynomial, logarithmic, power. We want polynomial. Quadratics are polynomials. You learned that in Algebra 2. They are polynomials of degree 2, so this is an x squared graph. And again, if I go down and ask for my label to use the equation, I will see the equation there. Remember that you have to put y equals, and this time the calculator did a, b, c. This time it just wrote it in the opposite way for whatever reason. But you're going to get the same equation, and you have your graph, your curve. It's not a trend line, it's a curve, and it is quadratic. I hope this helps. If you notice that if you choose exponential, you can get an exponential equation as well. Now this graph was not exponential, but if your graph looks like it is increasing rapidly, then you're going to want to choose exponential. We're going to look at that real quick. We'll look at this one. Let's go ahead and put that in the calculator. And where did my calculator go? There we go. So we're going to edit our data. If you'll recall, you go up and hit clear. Do not hit delete. Up here, it'll delete the entire column. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 0.82, 3.28, 7.38, 2, and 20.5. This time I'm going to go ahead and relook at my scatter plot, Go to y equals 2. We had that equation in there, and clear that out because that was for the last problem. You can do a new zoom 9, which will show you that. And it does look to be exponential. There is a curve here. So we're going to stat calculate. This time we're going to go down to exponential regression. And when I choose that, I get y equals ab to the x. So that is a times b to the x power. And my equation is going to be 0.5322 times 2.187 to the x. And again, I can show you that on my paper. I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to type in 0.5322. Oops, parentheses. Oh, I'm on the calculator. I'm trying to type parentheses 2.187, close parentheses, and I'm going to raise it to the x power. And when I graph that, again, I will see that really nice curve. Now this one doesn't line up perfectly, but it's pretty darn close. And that's it. I think that you guys have that, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.